Welcome to Marketing Game Changer Secrets, where you will learn from one of the top leaders in the network marketing industry. Teresa Harding has grown her team to over millions of people. She's grown online, she's grown offline, she's grown organically, and she is ready to show you the secrets. She's ready to change the way you think. She truly cares about the success of her team and the people that she teaches. So get ready to learn the tips, tricks, and secrets that will allow you to grow a successful business in the 21st century.
I'm Teresa Harding, and this is Marketing Game Changer Secrets. This podcast is for people who know that this industry is not about the network marketer anymore. It's about the people we serve and the change we can make in other people's lives. It's about the entrepreneur inside each of us who is trying to find our voice. It's for the people who want to change the world and are looking for the most powerful way to make that happen. Welcome, everybody. I am so excited about our special guest today. I am going to introduce you to Curtis Harding. He is 28 years old. He is an entrepreneur, and he is crazy, amazing entrepreneur. So I'm going to try to ask him the kinds of questions that I think you're going to want to know. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and over the last 10 years, he has lived on 3 different continents. I'm going to let him tell us about that. He started 5 businesses across multiple industries. He started his network marketing career at age 21 and has been able to grow his downline to over 80,000 people in 40 countries. You guys, this is massive. This is a huge, huge team. And he's in the top 1% of his MLM company. So Curtis is the creator of the Multi-Level Millennial. It's a page. It's also a podcast. I absolutely am excited about it because I think that you guys are going to get a lot from this. And there's this whole space where people are feeling missing out. There's a young generation that's coming up that wants to do multi-level marketing. The reputation for multi-level marketing is changing. I'm telling you, you're going to want to check that out. So it's called the Multi-Level Millennial. It's a page. It's also a podcast where he teaches MLMers how to build their network marketing business and make it designed for the 21st century. So Curtis is married. He's got 1 child. He's got another baby on the way. He loves to travel. He loves to learn things. He loves to meet new people. And I'll tell you something that I know about Curtis. He is an amazing presenter. Okay. And I am just going to clarify right now. I'm going to qualify that statement by telling you he's also my son. Curtis is my son. So proud of him. And, but for those of you who know me or knew me as a mom, and my kids will be happy to tell you about what a mean mom I was. And I'm extremely strict. And I'll tell you what, if I'm harder on my kids than I am on anyone else. And so there are big jokes about it in our family. So when I say he's amazing at this, it means something, and they know it means something. So I want you to know I'm not just saying that because he's my son, but I am very proud of him, even just in the industry, and then proud, of course, to work with him. So fun. So I'm excited for you guys to meet Curtis, get to know him a little bit better. And I want you to tell us, Curtis, where have you lived? Why are you living all over the world?
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. It started after I graduated high school. And from there, I've always been interested in traveling. I wouldn't say we traveled a lot growing up, but we did go on a couple trips that kind of sparked my interest in that. But right after I graduated high school, I went to live down in South America, in Peru, and I lived there for 2 years. And that was a life-changing experience for me. I saw that the world is so much bigger, has so much more to offer than the bubble that I was living in the United States, right? And not only that the world had so much more to offer me, but that I had so much more to offer the world. And so that kind of sparked my interest, and I fell in love with Latin American culture, with the food. I was able to learn Spanish, so I'm fluent in Spanish now, and that's allowed me to build businesses in Latin America. And
let me just interrupt for a second and say that he has a lot of his team. He has teams all over the world, but he has a big team down in Latin and South America. And I'll just tell you that he has been invited to be on TV shows down there. He's kind of becoming a pretty big deal there. They love it. And people talk about his Spanish. They think that you're native.
They used to think that. I was living there. I got pretty good, and with the accent and everything. My vocabulary is still pretty good, but the accent is definitely a lot more gringo than it was.
You say that, but I know people, you lived in Peru, but people in Peru think you're from Argentina.
Yeah, it's definitely helped to continue doing business down there because it helps me keep my Spanish up. So
Good.
that's kind of what sparked it all. And then from there, I started traveling just on my own, just going to see the world, not necessarily for business or anything. And obviously, when I could use business as an excuse, I would absolutely take advantage of that. Then I came back, went to college, graduated, got married, and right when we got married, in the company I work with, their China market was just opening. Excuse me. And so I was like, we just got married, we have no kids, we have nothing holding us back. Why don't we move to China? And I can use business as an excuse, right? But honestly, I was probably 70% more excited to just go live in another country again. And in a place where I'd never lived, I'd never been before, over in Asia, excuse me. And so we went over and lived in southern China, so they're in Southeast Asia. We were there for about a year, building our business and also traveling. You know, when you don't have kids, you're young, I feel like that's the time to do that and kind of discover the world, discover yourself, and that's exactly what we did. So then we got pregnant while we were there, and so we decided we need to have our baby in the U.S. and just be close to family. So we moved back, and we've been in Arizona since then. That was about 2 years ago.
And I think the funniest outfit I've ever seen your child wear, he's a son, his name is Graham, and they have this shirt for him that says "Made in China."
yeah, literally made in China.
And he was. So, all right, just for fun, before we get started with some of the questions, tell me, what are some of the countries you visited while you're over there?
Oh, we did. Now, this is not like bragging, or it sounds way cooler than it is. Because when you live where we lived, which is like 2 hours north of Hong Kong, all of these places I'm going to tell you, the flight is an hour away, and it costs $150 round trip. So we went to Thailand multiple times. We hung out in Bali. We went to Malaysia, Japan, and then other parts of China. So those are some of the main places we went to while we were over there.
Okay. And people who have experience in China, they're just going to want to know, what was your favorite place in China that you've been to?
The markets. 100% the markets.
I think I have to agree.
You want. Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about location, city, but going to those markets is so fun for me. I'm a shopper, and so being able to buy a $20,000 watch for $75.
Uh-oh, you're being a little telltale.
All I know is that living in China, I learned how badly we are getting ripped off by the designer brands. So
yeah. And leading into that, the awesome thing about network marketing is that you don't have to do all the research. You don't have to do the P&R. You don't have to do the shipping. You don't have to do the registering, which makes it, of course, easy for us to go, dude, those prices are so high. So my first question is, what got you into MLM? You're an entrepreneur. There are a million businesses out there. You are doing some other business ventures on your own. You have people all the time coming to you, inviting you to be involved in a business venture because you're good at it. So why MLM?
Yeah, that's a good question. I got back from Peru and I was in college and I needed to make money. I needed to earn money for myself. And I knew I didn't have a lot of my goals set in stone at that point, but what I did know is that I wanted financial security. And not just security, financial freedom. I did not need to be filthy rich and own a Lamborghini and a mansion with 10 bedrooms, or that wasn't my goal. My goal was to be able to not have to think about going to the grocery store or adding guacamole to your taco. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I thought about it and I thought, okay, money is in business. And obviously I've since learned that you can make money doing literally anything that you are passionate about. But in my head, money was in business. And so I started studying that. I ended up not feeling super fulfilled, so I switched my degree. But I was looking for on the side for ways that I could make money and make good amounts of money. I didn't want to go get a job. And so there were two options at that point. As a college student, eating top ramen every day with an extremely small income and a lot of expenses, right, paying for school. One of those was door-to-door sales. That was very heavily recruited in the college town I lived in, because you could go for a summer and you could make 25 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand if you were really good in 3 or 4 months, which is a ton of money, period. But it's a ton of money for a college student,
That's
right?
like $1 million to a college kid.
Yeah, there's literally nothing you cannot do with $50,000, And so that was enticing to me because of the amount of money you could earn and the short amount of time you could earn it in. I knew that it would be hard work, but I'm a hard worker. So I knew that it would not be enjoyable, but I could do it. And then the other option, I had people in my life, including yourself, who were doing network marketing. And I knew that it had a negative reputation. I didn't like that. But I'm a person who, just because I hear something negative about something, all that does is make me want to prove why it's a good thing as well. You know that because
Hey, I just to pause for a second for the audience. As the mother of this child, can you imagine what he put me through? Just saying.
I'm the devil's advocate and everything.
Now proceed.
But I do try to be objective and not argue for the sake of arguing. And so I was interested in network marketing, and I went out and I started looking into why is network marketing bad and why is it good? And I'm very good at taking in all this information and then making an informed decision. And the pros outweigh the cons 10-1 with network marketing. That's a gigantic if, it is done right. And so I love, like you said, you don't have to worry about sourcing a product or coming up with a business idea and then manufacturing it and that initial investment and the shipping and the legal and the customer service. You can start your network marketing business with a very small startup cost and then go market your product. And the business takes care of everything else, the company does. And so that was enticing to me. So I had two options. One was get a lot of money really quick in a summer, or start really slow, kill myself for $100 a month, $200 a month, but for a more long-term play, because I was looking at the residual income aspect of it. And so I decided to go with network marketing. And when I decided that, I walked away from summer sales, but I still hadn't decided what company. So I started going to multiple different network marketing meetings for different companies. And a lot of them were more centered around college kids, just because that's what was going around in my community.
Yeah. And include in there, because you had mentioned that I was doing network marketing and we'd been really successful. You'd seen that. So why did you go check out other companies instead of just going, with what your parents were doing, which I think you kind of answered that a little bit, but expound on that a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it was 100% because I did not just want to do it because you were doing it. That was 100% why. Because I saw that it was a good product, I saw it was a good company, but I was like...
Do you see? You see what I put up with.
Yeah, it was 100% to be like, I need to be different than my mom and go do my own thing.